BS.
Happy New Year! Right? That's what we wanted to say. For the holidays.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. We are ready to kick this New Year's off, and we've been having a lot of fun just prepping and planning for exciting New Year Super BS. And we hope you enjoyed our holiday special. We had the great Donna, Dr. Donna, leading us through that Numenera. Super fun, had a great time.
Like
so if you haven't checked that out,
Did we live? Did we survive that?
Everyone but you.
Okay.
It's too bad. Sorry.
It was my shoes.
Still have the jingles.
Those jingles gave you away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't listened to that, I would highly recommend it. Super fun, super festive, super BS. There you go. The triumvirate. So real quick, want to start off with a couple housekeeping matters. Please rate and review our show. We love hearing from you guys. We read your comments and feedback on the show when we get the chance. So please go ahead and do that. Also, contact us on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we have an email, superbs. There's a silent T. superbscast@gmail.com. So definitely hit us up, ask us questions. We'll read them aloud if we're allowed. And
it's more of an invisible T if we spell it super BS, but it's pronounced best.
Right.
Best.
Yeah. It's like a pterodactyl.
Yes.
Super best cats.
Super best cats.
Best casts.
Yeah.
T
so
is not silent because
It's a soft T.
it's a soft hard T.
Yeah.
What would Mary Shelley say about this?
Ooh.
it's actually
pass.
pronounced Mary Shelty.
Mary Shelley.
So
Pup.
guys, it's been a long time since we've chatted. We don't talk offline. We only talk to each other on the podcast. So we have a lot of catching up to do.
Very true.
That makes planning hard.
Yeah. We do all of our planning
We
live.
try to show up at the same place at the same time. We never talk to each other, though, so we're just hoping we're all there at the same time.
So, guys, since I've not talked to you in months, I want to know what y'all been playing, what games you've been playing, and yeah. So just tell us all. So, Brank, you wanna maybe kick it off?
Ooh, boy. I definitely can kick it off. I have played a lot of stuff. But yeah, I could go through some of that stuff. This has been like a really, really killer last month. I'd say
He's played a lot of catch with his dad. Finally,
a lot of catch. He's been standing there,
too busy,
and I've been
Brian.
throwing him the ball. He didn't want to do it all
Now,
year.
Brian?
But no, after our Game of the Year podcast, we did the special. But beyond that, I was like, there are so many good games I need to play them. So I played a little bit in Nier Automata. Still only a few hours in.
with his dad.
With my dad. He loves video games. He's 74 years old and loves video games.
Yeah, he loves video games and a good catch.
A good catch.
So you're a few hours into it. What do you think so far?
It's
just catch,
really,
right?
It is. It's just catch. It's just it's something that you play with everyone.
Got to oil your glove,
You could tell it had a very low production budget, so it's a little bit hard to get into right now. I've heard that the story gets good, but I've heard it's also like you need to play like 18 hours.
That's like your favorite thing, right?
My favorite thing. It is a lot more fun than games I've complained about recently, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or any of the other ones.
Any game you've ever played?
But no, I played that. I played a little bit of Call of Duty World War II.
with his dad.
You and your dad have gotten real close.
We have been playing games nonstop. I played some of Call of Duty World War II. It's
Bring
good.
him on the podcast.
On a podcast. My dad was
I
here
think
with
you
me.
mentioned it's kind of like a game of catch.
It's kind of like a game of catch. It is very similar to Call of Duty, Modern Warfare's 2 and previous. It's not like running in the running on walls or double jumping.
Just stand still. Throw a
Just
ball.
stand still.
All right, we get one more catch joke, so make that last one good.
And then I have finished Assassin's Creed Origins, which was stupid awesome. That game is amazing.
Tell me the end. What did you like? Did you like the ending?
I thought it was great, man. I think you're a complainer. Like, I really did.
Right?
Like,
No. The way
What does your dad think?
the way the story wrapped up, did you feel like it was a good ending.
It's a prequel game. It was a great
No, that
ending.
wasn't the question.
It was a good ending. Okay, let's
Now,
before
the-
I spend a year
The
on
father's son is murdered in that game, right? Was that
They-
hard for you and your dad?
that was very hard for me when we were playing ball. I just
Little Papa
couldn't
Brank.
couldn't do it.
Wait, so how much was it like Elder Scrolls? Like
It is
I want the-
exactly like Elder Scrolls.
It's like Elder Scrolls mixed with a good old game of catch.
Percent. It's
You're over your
this
core.
is never gonna end. No, it was great. I played it for about 45 hours. I played a little bit after I finished because there's like these super hard elite bosses in the world, and you have to go like kind of hunt them down, kind of like the dragons in Dragon Age Inquisition. I just want to. There's a few more that I played. I will try to be quick. I played Ukulele on Switch a lot. I'm
his dad.
actually
Ooh.
almost
How do
done
you-
with it.
How do you like that compared to Mario? We can, go we can go into detail later, but real quick.
Real quick. It's you can't play it after Mario. It's a really hard game to play. After that, they have they only have 5 worlds in the game, and one of the worlds is complete garbage.
It's like
You're
playing
in,
underhand catch.
It's like a
Like a-
trash
like a
world.
you're
garbage
in
land.
you're in a casino.
I'm okay with the garbage land.
Yeah, and you're in a casino, and you have to like line up roulette machines. It's awful.
So it encourages
Awful.
gambling, aka
Are you talking about?
microtransactions.
You're talking about Last Jedi gambling.
yeah,
Let's-
I'm
Monte
talking about
Carlo.
Last Jedi. Real quick ones I won't really say much about. I also
You
did
don't
play
have to. You don't have to rush. By the way, like this is a big part of the cast. You can
I-
slow it down.
I
Yeah.
specifically remember you saying this was going to take a lot of time.
But
You're on
I've got 2 that I want to talk a lot
You're on
about,
Dave's
and
time
I've
here.
got
We already talked about catch, so there's only one left.
there
Yeah.
is.
Well, tic tac toe.
Let's
I've
talk about
played,
that sweet casino level. You said it was kind of like gambling, little like loot boxes, little.
It's none of that stuff. They were all joking. It is just like you use your tongue to pull the roulette like trigger, and you have to line up. Okay, did you guys all
Wow.
play the Super
Hey,
Mario
I
Odyssey
turned the
roulette?
explicit
You guys
rating
ever
off on this
licked a
podcast.
gambling machine before?
They're covered
Yeah.
with germs.
Is that how you play?
Wait, did you guys all play the Super Mario Odyssey roulette moons? The one where you line up all 5 moons
Oh,
or
those
3
were
moons?
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that, but you can't use your hat. You have to hit a button that also doesn't stop it at the exact same time that you hit the button. And then imagine doing that like 10 times because those are 10 of the pages in the level.
Ooh, pages is the thing you collect.
Yeah, you collect pages for a book. It's a pretty charming game, but it came out after Odyssey, which is like a bummer for it.
It came out
Well,
before
it came out way before.
Yeah,
Odyssey.
but on Switch, like I have it on
Yeah.
Xbox and I played it for a little bit and it was okay. But Switch is what I've been playing on the most.
The only release that matters now.
Yeah.
Switch McGitch.
Switch. I played a little bit of Skyrim on Switch. It's
With
great.
his dad.
I've been I haven't got to the DLC or anything yet, but I've gotten to the part where you kill the first dragon and get the first
Dad
dragon
level
shout.
content.
All the dad level content.
I can't wait for Donna's because we're gonna do dad questions.
Oh
as
my
well.
god, it's gonna be I am literally not gonna let you get through one flipping game.
Okay, all right, Brian. Brank, you have immunity for a minute, so just
Okay.
talk. So no interrupts
Okay.
for a minute.
Dad-plematic immunity.
Okay, starting now.
So I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I finished the DLC Champion Ballad, which is it's great. It is really, really, really cool. They add, I want to say, 16 shrines to the world.
How many dads?
All right, I am gonna start penalizing for dad jokes.
We will take away 1 minute of Donna being able to speak for every joke added there. No, it's great. They add a bunch of stuff. I don't think that this isn't really a spoiler because it's in the trailer. I don't think the motorcycle adds as much as people think it should. It is the what are those called? The magnesis and the freeze time. What are those? Do you guys remember what those are called in the game?
All those runes.
The Sheikah.
Runes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Runes. Yeah. So it adds it. That's a new rune, and then you fill it up by just putting anything in the motorcycle.
Like fuel.
Yeah, fuel. Like anything acts as fuel though, and you do jumps off it. It's really cool. The main thing that's really awesome though is every shrine they added. None of them were Guardian battle shrines. They have one that plays on that, but it's way better. So
How does it tie into the story?
so it kind of tells a prequel. I don't want to reveal too much because I know a couple people haven't got to beat Breath of the Wild yet, but it tells a prequel for each of the champions.
Okay, and do you have to have the Guardians already taken care of before you play
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty much, it's weird because it's supposed to be after you finish all the main content, but before you finish the game. Because at the end they're like, you need to go rescue Zelda.
Well,
It's like,
you can't because you
did that. So
when you go back and replay it after you finish it, like Ganon's not killed. Like they don't let
Yeah,
you go.
there's no
back
new game
after
plus.
that.
Yeah, it's like an Obsidian game. They usually like when those games come out, I usually hold off finishing the game proper until they release all their DLC.
There you go. That's smart, actually. Play it as a whole.
Real quick, sorry, on Breath of the Wild, you said it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And so I haven't played much of Breath of the Wild. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but
Okay.
I was a little bit, not irked, but kind of put off about the technology aspect of the Zelda thing.
Okay.
Like with the Matrix style, like
how you can kind of transport anywhere?
That's some of the coolest parts.
I'm not super like opposed to it, but I was just a little bit adverse to it because it seemed a little non-Zelda-y. So like with the motorcycle, and maybe I just don't know enough about the game yet. But I was a little like, what is going on?
The motorcycle is DLC content. Like I would kind of feel similarly if it was like because they have horses.
Yeah.
But
it's like Breath of the Wild proper is like a full game of baseball, but the DLC is just like a good old game of catch, you know?
Okay. I totally get that. Should we start advertising as a baseball cast?
Yeah, we are
or-
actually a professional, an MLB, the minor
super
league.
baseball games cast. That's what BS stands
Donna
for.
just never got to play with one because he always had to use a wall. So
Yeah.
he's just trying to like learn all about it.
It's getting really dark and really bad really quick. I'm going to move on to the next things I've been playing.
Dave's baseball stats corner.
There you go.
I want to actually, on a serious note,
Yeah.
I think the futuristic part of Breath of the Wild is actually really cool because it fits into the Hyrule scheme where Hyrule is basically like an eternal backdrop, and they're always doing kind of like very similar eras, with the exception of Wind Waker, which takes place like.
Is it before or after the world ended?
After.
Okay.
I don't know where Breath of the Wild fits in the timeline.
It's an Apocalypse one too.
But also there's 3 timelines, so I don't know if it's the same one with Wind Waker or not. Because there's the whole like Ocarina paradox, which they made official. So Nintendo did. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think the technology part is kind of interesting because you kind of get to explore that. The main, I think I wrote in my Game of the Year review, the main thing I hate about Breath of the Wild is the
rain.
Is the NPC. So
oh yeah,
the rain?
NPCs are the rain is gonna get annoying to you guys, but anyways, one thing I want to say about
I'm just
Breath
gonna set fire to it like Adele would.
set fire to it.
You like Adele, don't you, Donna?
She's my favorite.
A lot of my family members know that you love Adele.
Donna is known as our #1 Adele
I'm constantly
fan.
defending Adele.
He's singing Adele, but we have to edit it out of every podcast
That
because
was actually
of
our
copyright.
original theme song was him singing Adele.
We originally called the podcast just 32 because Adele had all the other numbers taken. So
Brian, can we end
Adele-
this episode with an Adele song?
Yeah. Adele is to Donna as Catch is to Brank.
That really resonated
favorite
with me.
thing. One thing I want to add though is Breath of the Wild is the only game I've played DLC for this year. So it was like I thought it was really cool.
This year just started, just so you know.
I'm sorry, 2017. It was the only game in 2017 because we haven't podcasted for 3 or so weeks that I played DLC for. And there are a lot of games that had great DLC. I then went on to play What Remains of Edith Finch. I actually finished it last night. Do you guys?
Turns out all that's left is a penis. So.
That is it.
Is that the
Edith
punchline?
Finch is. It's a joke game.
Wait,
it's comedic.
Is there a catch and balls joke in here somewhere?
Oh my gosh! Do you guys know anything about the game though, or?
Just the dick part.
Okay, which isn't there at all. So I love how we're joking about an extremely tragic and sad game.
Well, tell us about it. I don't know anything about it.
So we've all played Gone Home here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you play it, Vit? Did you play Gone Home?
I did not.
Okay. Gone Home, you go through a house
hell
and
is
you
your
find
problem?
out. Yeah, it's amazing.
Go play it.
You
it's
should.
super fun.
It's fun. It's
I'll
like
look
2
it up.
hours. Anyways, you go through a house and you find out like story related
Is it
stuff.
on the Vita? Can I play it on the
It
Vita?
is not on the Vita, and you need to let that die.
Is it on the Switch?
It's on
Not-
Steam.
Not yet. Yeah, it's on Steam and Xbox and all the other
And
stuff.
Sega Genesis.
Super cheap. You can get it for like $5 off.
Genesis.
But What Remains of Edith Finch is kind of another home exploring game. You go back to your old childhood home that you haven't seen for a long time to find out if your family curse is real. And this is
Sounds a lot like Dear Esther.
I didn't play Dear Esther, but maybe it's similar. It's from the guys who did Unforgotten Swan or
Unfinished Swan.
Unfinished Swan. And like, so you go through the house and you go into different people's rooms, and everybody who lived in the house, they keep the room the same and just lock the door after they died. And you go and read their journals, and then each journal acts as like a different gameplay segment. So one journal, you are playing as a owl that needs to eat rabbits, and then you evolve and become a octopus that needs to eat humans, and then and this is the first one, so it's not really spoiling too much. Then you go into the room where the girl is, and she disappears. And so, like, there's about 6 or 7 of these, and it is a really cool game. Parts of the gameplay are really, really fun, but it didn't strike me in the same way that Gone Home and others have done, just because...
Well, 3 strikes and you're out.
That is it.
That's baseball.
Of the old ball game, at least.
The game sounds unsettling, is it?
There was one. There's like one of the girls is a movie star, and there's like reports on the TV. That one's handled by playing as a comic book, so you're in comic book pages, and it's really interesting. And but yeah, there's a cannibal on the loose, and then the girl.
How much of the game did you play?
I beat the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It was an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, okay,
it's
gotcha.
really cool. I would say if you can get it for $10 or less, it would be great. It is normally $20. I got it on sale for $12. I know that we're not a games price
Dearester
podcast,
was the one that we played that one day.
Oh, were you on the island?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
with the
thought.
Narrator.
Yeah, that was really
dude.
cool.
Yeah,
we didn't play much of it though.
No.
And this probably is similar to that. This is a very whimsical game. The house is like a Studio Ghibli house. It's like they kept adding floors, and you keep climbing up and up and up what
cool.
should be like ended. But yeah, it was really cool. I don't have a lot of it didn't have a lot of emotional impact with me, but some of the stories about her brothers who were no longer there were really, really, really kind of like unsettling. I did enjoy that. So I finished that last night, and then and sorry I've talked so long without allowing anyone to ask me a question, but this is the big one. I decided to play Wolfenstein 2 after I finished Assassin's Creed 2, or Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed 2. And I beat
Wolfenstein Origins.
Wolfenstein Origins. And I beat Wolfenstein 2 today
With his dad.
with my dad.
Did you finish the first one?
I did not.
Okay. So was it weird? Was it hard to get into the story?
They have a video sequence at the beginning that
So
shows you
okay.
every single thing that
that's
happened in
cool.
the first one.
But aren't there actions that carry over from the previous
You choose
games?
those in the first in the
Oh,
video
that's
sequence.
cool.
It's
That's
really cool.
Nice.
It's awesome. Do you guys want to know anything about it specifically?
I want to know every specific.
I want to know everything about it.
I wanted to get that game, but it just seemed really heavy.
It's not a game to play with kids or with your significant other.
Yeah.
I played most of it late at night.
With his dad.
So it's not like a Me and Daisy sort of game.
It's definitely for your daughter.
Daisy.
She loves beheading Nazis with hatchets, right? 'Cause
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
it's her favorite thing.
Kids are growing up so fast these
She was
days.
born to that when she was 1, so she's 2 now. So
That's
she's
twice as
moved on
old,
to-
so.
She loves seeing scenes where your pregnant wife rips her shirt off because it's burning and then kills about 30 Nazis and is soaked in blood. Topless, right?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I didn't even tell you where it happened, but it's just like, it is an insane scene, and there are many, many, many cool moments. One thing I want to add that a lot of like game critics deride it for its gameplay, but I followed the thing where it said like, they're like, don't play it on, I want to say normal. It's really, really hard normal. So I played on casual, which is one step from Can I Play Daddy, which is the name of the easiest
How
difficulty.
fitting for tonight.
Yeah. And you literally, it has...
The way you said that, instead of "Can I play Daddy," was "Can I play Daddy?" Like,
That's the right way to say it. But no,
Commas are important.
BJ is wearing like a bonnet, and he's like has
just wanted to be a grammar Nazi for the Nazi game.
Ooh, there you go.
Hey.
I'm not a Nazi. No, it's cool. It is definitely something everyone should play. I played it for like 20 hours. I thought it was gonna be really short.
Did you like the gameplay? I've heard the gameplay is not that great.
I really liked it. Like I hated the first game, and maybe because I played the first game on too hard of a difficulty.
What are the? I haven't read any gameplay complaints. So what are they? Because ID usually makes killer shooters.
Yeah, so
that's like their thing.
There are two complaints really about the gameplay. Is it's not really great with damage detection. It's really hard to tell where you're getting shot from and when you are taking damage. It pretty much doesn't show you. So like a lot of games, they'll like give you like a force rumble or something, so you know, oh, I'm
Or
taking
your
damage.
screen will get bloody. Or
Yeah.
So is it like Morrowind when you have no idea if you're hitting somebody?
No. The damage against others is pretty easy to tell. However, some of the enemies are bullet sponges. So,
Okay.
like, the gameplay played out for me. If there's a commander in the room, it shows you, like, hey, he's this many feet away. If you can silent assassin him, he can't do the bell, so people won't find you, right? As soon as I kill him, and I would normally save scum my way to him, I would then dual wield, like, a shotgun and like sniper rifle machine gun that I had and just go. Because, I mean, guys would they all have like heavy body armor and they're like, it's a really, really cool depiction of future like America. And there's like Nazis, robots, and there's no zombies or anything stupid like that. But it's these guys have like giant plates of armor on them, so you gotta like shoot it off or shoot the heat tanks on their back that make them explode. But yeah, I have talked so long. I do want to say that like Wolfenstein 2 would still probably not have been my top 5 games of 2017 just because. Oh,
really? Even for the moments?
Even for the moments. It was incredible, but there were so many good games that I played that I still think I liked Assassin's Creed and Cuphead and
Catch.
And Zelda and Mario.
I'm like going to lose my mind on the Catch jokes.
More. But yeah, I want to let someone else talk because I have literally talked for 18 minutes.
Viti, why don't you regale us with your games, my brah?
Vit Vit Mesquite. Oh boy. Just been playing Mario, which geez, I don't want to be negative, and it's a great game, but I don't like it as much as I thought I would. And then
really?
Zelda I ended up liking more than I thought I would.
What do you not like about Odyssey? Sorry about interrupting.
Okay, so 2 things, and I don't know. I'm never as articulate as I'd like to be, but there are 2 things I'm not huge on.
Join the club.
One of them is like the coins in each level and buying the outfits. That just doesn't appeal to me as much.
It's like one of my favorite parts.
And mine.
No,
and Eli's.
But I remember talking with Dave about it. It would have been really cool if you had to buy costumes in order to get certain stars.
They have that though.
It's pretty minor. It's really minor though.
More. I would have liked more of it.
Where do you
like in the
like
pyramid level?
Oh yeah.
Or like in Lake Kingdom, you need to go dress
Yeah,
as
Lake
something.
Kingdom, the
that's
Snorkel
right.
system.
There's like 5 or 6 of them, I think.
I would have liked more. I would have liked.
I wish that they gave you power-ups, maybe, like where you would get like a certain ability from that outfit that would be useful in that world.
That could be cool, but I thought the moon stuff was pretty.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, but also the base mechanics are so flawless that adding to them could be dangerous.
No, totally. And the game is perfect in that way, I thought. Like the hat is such a cool aspect of that game. Sorry, Viti.
This is more of a personal critique, I think, than a general one. That's just something I would have liked to have seen more.
Yeah. No, I can feel you.
I mean, I said Super BS literally chose as our second best game of the year, which we had to argue over because it was so good.
Choose Zelda, and he thinks Zelda's a better game than Mario.
No, our first one was Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mass Effect 3. So
what was the second?
Yeah, well, actually, wait. How many moons do you have, Jake? Or Viti?
Oh, boy. Only like 350, I think.
Oh,
I haven't played it in a little bit. So,
did you beat it? Like the first time? Get to credits?
No, I haven't beaten the game. I've
been
really?
grinding
away at levels.
Dude,
yeah.
Man, the ending to that game was so fun. I won't spoil anything, but it was like I got a little Lord of the Rings tears going, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I should hold my reservations until I've beat it. So.
Well, what was your second complaint?
Well, the second complaint, and again, this is kind of minor, but like, didn't one of the levels have like 60 stars or moons?
Yeah, that Sand Kingdom is notoriously hard.
I don't know. It just felt in 64, and it's not quite fair to compare, but like, what is it? The 7 stars each level. There was a greater sense of accomplishment per each star, and then in this, which I get, it's a lot more about just enjoying the world and exploring. But I don't know, it's just like in each star in 64, and that's what I just keep comparing it to. It was just so awesome to get each star, and this one, it almost felt like a checklist that I was trying to go off of. You know what I mean? If you guys can even get that.
I think the game is made for a different generation though too. I don't know if this is what they intended, but it's not maybe designed with the same audience in mind. Like back then, I think people were more just impressed to be playing a 3-dimensional game that it just went a lot further. 7 stars went a lot further. But now that we've been exposed to that world, we know what 3D graphics can look like. I think it was more, just.
So like this game is a more expansive experience compared to the older Marios.
Yeah, well, it's
wish-
also, I think that's one of the best things about this game is the variety of types of moons. Some are really easy, some are really sneaky, some are really challenging, some are really, kind of medium. Because the last several Mario games have been the same blueprint as Mario 64. You go to a level for one specific star, moon, shine, whatever.
Moonshine.
Right.
And then you get booted out. But this is more like the world keeps going, so it's like you're free to roam.
Yeah, that was nice. That was one of my favorite parts about the game.
It's one of my favorite parts about the game, but it doesn't mean that I would go back and change like the older games to make it that
No,
way. Like, I
Right,
neither.
no, right. Well, and plus with like such a well-known, beloved franchise, you have to do something to
What's it called?
Wario.
Yeah, Kirby. You have to do something to make the game appeal to a younger generation, and that's what younger generations are used to, are these big, massive games. So I get it.
One thing I wanted to add real quick about Mario and Breath of the Wild, for that matter, is I heard Nintendo use an approach that they use at Disneyland, which had, I can't remember the name of it, but it has to deal with line of sight, where that wherever you looked, there would always be something enticing to go there. And when you get to that thing, there would be something within eye line or eyesight up to the next thing that you'd keep going to. And I thought both Odyssey and Breath of the Wild did an amazing job of making me want to like keep going, like playing for. I mean, I looked at my total time in Breath of the Wild; it was 80 hours, and Mario was like past 40. And it's
Wow.
like some of the most played games I played all last year.
No, that's really rad. It's
But
a super cool concept.
I think with the checklist thing too, an interesting or a thing that they did that I think is really brilliant is that's why they made the game so that it's beatable without getting every single star.
Right.
So because I think the checklist is actually fun for me in this instance because I've complained about checklist games all year. So to have one where it's like really entertaining the whole time for me, I thought that was great, but I could have easily ignored like the tediousness of it. I mean, it wasn't tedious to me, but I could have ignored the like, I want to get every single one and then just done enough to move on. And it would have been a different but equally amazing experience.
What I would recommend, V, is just beating the game, like doing the main quest, and then going back, because you go to somewhere after the main game that's really fun, and it just kind of like, for me, it was a reset, where it's like, now I really want to go back to all the worlds and do all those moons again. So
And some more exploring. Yeah, and that definitely sounds pretty cool. And like I said, I should.
The challenge worlds are fun too.
maybe the
Yeah.
whole-
just don't burn yourself out on getting all the moons of each world before you move on, because you may, like, I don't know, something else may come out and you may not want to finish the game, and that game is definitely worth finishing.
Well, it's fun. It's nice too because you can go back and play it. Like that, I kept going back to Mario while I was playing different games. So it's nice to be able to just jump back in without having to reteach yourself how to play it.
Yeah, I've heard people do that, where they'll use it as their break game. Once they've beaten the game, they're just like, I'm getting like the last couple hundred moons, and they get frustrated with some other game, they pop back to Mario.
Yeah, there's a second, like if you, as long as you get at least to 500, you can do 2 secret worlds. And if you beat the second one, there's like a second ending that's even more Lord of the Rings tier time.
Oh, dude. It's only 500, though?
500 to get to the last world. The game is
Okay.
999 moons.
Right.
But 880
80.
of them are authored. Like
Right.
the others are you just buy
buy
them, which
'em
I
in
wish
the-
they would have just made 80 instead.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been playing Marimar and Zelda, right?
No, I beat Zelda. I've been playing Marimar and I've been playing Skyrim on the Switch, and it's awesome. And part of why I'm excited is because just like Fallout 3 and 4 and Skyrim and all the other games.
Skyrim, just like Skyrim.
Just like sorry. Yeah.
I haven't played any of the DLC for Skyrim yet, so
Well,
I'm super excited to
if you thought Fallout 4 was good, then be prepared to be blown away.
no, actually Fallout 4 was
But if you knew that,
okay.
well, yeah,
3 in Vegas is the best one.
Vegas is the best one.
V, what type of guy are you playing in Skyrim?
I am doing
The lusty Argonian maid.
no, I'm just
No.
Imperial. That would have been good. I'm just doing destruction magic and a single and a sword.
You
Yeah,
Khajiit though, or Nord,
Yeah,
or what?
hopefully not Khajiit.
Just a human.
Okay.
I've never been able to do
They're-
magic.
There's
Just the,
3 humans. Are you
there's-
bred
yeah.
an Imperial or Nord?
I said Imperial.
Oh,
I thought you said human.
I thought he said basic
yeah.
human. I'm
Basic human.
No, I
There
said
are three
Imperial.
or 4
It's-
races.
According to my
Oh man, I'm
calculations.
such a terrible person. Red Guard. No, I am.
Yeah, geez.
Red Guard, Breton, Imperial, Nord.
Oh my
Can you-
gosh.
Yeah.
We are gonna get some angry
Can you
comments.
beat? Have any of you guys ever been a Khajiit? Do they have any like?
I've been a Khajiit before.
Do they
They're
have
good
any
at stealth.
special
Yeah,
stats
you got to be
that
like a
are-
rogue type.
Okay.
They make
Thief.
great thieves.
Mm-hmm. Skooma dealers. I've never been able to do magic in an Elder Scrolls game, except
I just
for
do
Elder Scrolls
restoration. That's the only one I'm like level up at all.
Yeah. I last time I played it, the first time played through, I actually just did, and I'd never done it before that, just shield sword. And that was
Sword
kind of
and board?
fun. Like actually
that's fun.
leveling up shield. That I had kind of a blast doing that.
Yeah.
Because you get the
So,
pushes in Skyrim, don't you? And like
yeah. And
I had-
knockbacks and stuff. That's fun.
I hadn't done that before, and then this time I haven't done magic ever, so I wanted to do some magic. And
Oh man, you have the best thing to do, and I'm like a swordsman like from day one, which you know. But
Yes.
you gotta go stealth and get a bow. That's the best thing in any Elder Scrolls game.
I love doing one hand sword, one hand though magic.
Yeah,
I
no,
love
that's
dual
super.
wielding,
That's
too.
super
It's
fun. But
It looks
but,
cool.
Like sneak killing people with headshots from super far away
It's
is
fun.
so satisfying in a Skyrim game because they talk about it too. Like the game characters. Like I'll never forget one of my favorite moments in Oblivion was like 100 hours in. I was sneaking around this temple and I'd done it a million times, but it was just like I was like sneaking through a temple with cultists or whatever, and then like you kind of like go, what? Someone was like, what was that? And then they don't know it's me, and then I just kind of like bow them right in the head, and they make such a great like sound.
yeah, that's one of the cool things about those games is all the different builds you can play. That's super fun. And I'm definitely, I used to just do the same every time, and now as I'm getting older, I'm having fun just trying different ones that I haven't done before. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing?
No.
Well, we know you've actually had probably a pretty long day at work. Do you want to pause out here and we'll join you in the future?
Yeah, that sounds good, guys. I had a good time, and I got to go do some packing because I'm moving neighborhoods again. So,
Oh, nice, man.
yeah. Well, actually, not nice. It kind of sucks, but
Yeah, hit
But,
us up about that, Vit. We want to
What?
make sure you're doing good, man. Hit us up about that.
for sure, will do, guys. It was fun being here. Thanks for having me on,
Yeah, man.
as always.
Well, have a good week, and make sure you pack it nicely, pack it tight.
Just gonna say that.
And yeah, we'll hit you up later, my dog.
And the book of the month, guys, is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. If anybody out there is a
Oh my
reader-
gosh, you're reading The Name of the Wind.
I actually tried reading it. It's pretty good.
You
I
know,
just haven't got very
he
far.
wrote an NPC for the Numenera PC game.
I do know he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
he
cool.
did.
He's very big into like game. He's really cool. He's on.
Yeah,
my
they
brother,
know
my
they
brother
for
meets
their
you.
their like what's it called stretch goals. They had like a bunch of different authors that were gonna
And
do
they got-
different characters.
No, yeah, they got Patrick Rothfuss.
Yeah.
This is my third time reading it, so it's that good.
Oh really? I gotta check it out sometime.
Yeah, I'll talk about it more next time. Just a little bit. I won't go too much, but yeah, he's a very good. He's taking freaking for longer than George R. R. Martin these days to finish the third book. He's like 5
Is he
years
as
between
good at
each book.
describing food and boobs as George R. R. Martin?
No one can be that.
I mean, that's a high standard.
It was a ripe feast filled with the finest meats
It is so. That book, that series is so amazing.
What were you just describing, though? That could go either way.
Anyway,
Well, anyways, Jake and Bake, it was great having you on, man. Have a good week, and terraform Mars.
All right, Vit Vit Mesquite, Jake out.
All right. Well, Jakey Poo just dialed off here, so thanks for dialing in, my brah. Janky Bear, why don't you tell us about what games you're playing, man?
All right, so as you guys know, if you downloaded the Assassin's Creed review, I did sit down and finish Assassin's Creed Origins during on Christmas Day, actually.
during
Me too.
During
Merry
on
Christmas.
Day, yeah, Merry Christmas. You know, I agree with Brian. It's a very good game. It's the first time in an Assassin's Creed game where I wanted to actually go out and explore things. The pyramids were cool. Going in there, checking out all the little puzzles, trying to figure out how to get to the treasures and all that was cool. But in the end, I did not like the story. And I know you keep saying it's an origin story, but like,
Doesn't make anything.
It is a prequel to what is happening.
yeah, but
they do a lot of
you can
cool
still,
nods.
You can still make a prequel and forward the story, because that was the big thing that was getting stale with the Assassin's
Do you
Creed.
think if I interrupted you right now,
Yeah,
that it would
please.
still be a great game?
Hold on, let me think about it. Yeah. No. No, but I really wanted to see the story go somewhere. I like that they brought the present protagonist back. That was pretty cool. She was an interesting character. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a great game. I just didn't like how it ended. That was my big complaint about it.
They even do, like, I don't want to say it on here because it's a spoiler, but they do really cool nods that they didn't have to do.
Are we talking about like yes and no nods?
Yes,
or-
yes, and no
Yeah,
nods. They do cool nods to
The,
previous
the choicest
characters.
animations.
I don't
And, like,
know nods.
Compared to Black Flag, Unity, Syndicate, where they just made up a totally random story, like you really
Black
think it's that
Flag
much.
was amazing. I love that game.
So you're a first-person Ubisoft employee, and that's supposed to be a great.
Oh
it's
no,
nothing-
not that part, but I mean the actual game.
That's the
itself
story
was
that
fun.
you're upset at in Origins, though. Sorry, I really like
No,
Origins.
okay. So in Black Flag, they show how the
I can't wait to play it and then not really care for it.
It is a good game. It is a
They-
fun. You don't play it for the story. But
Everyone likes it. Who I've talked about at least likes it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Anyways, besides that, I have been playing Skyrim on the Xbox One. Finally, I got around to playing the expansion, so that's what I'll talk about. I played through Dawnguard. I was talking to you about this before the podcast started. It's not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of the vampire story.
So yeah, so now there's lots of things about Dawnguard that I enjoyed, but again, I played all of that at the time of, so it was like before you reached peak Skyrim ingestion, and so you were just like, oh, Dawnguard's out, like I want to play this.
Right.
You know? It's entertaining.
Did you play it right after the campaign?
I played I think even though I'm trying to remember the order I did things, but I think I might have played Dawnguard before I finished the main campaign.
Okay.
And I think I played Solstheim after I finished the main campaign.
Okay.
But Dawnguard is definitely like the weakest. Well, actually, the house one is the weakest, but that's not really counting.
isn't that like a $3 or $5 add-on though? if you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just, because in the game itself, I'm not a huge fan of the vampires. I don't know why they're everywhere and what their significance is, but I never cared for being a vampire.
I think Solstheim is where you can be a vampire in Morrowind, right? Or is that werewolves?
It's
I
werewolves.
never got that far.
Solstheim is the
I think
like the
it's
snow
werewolf.
world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the snow and
It's
ash.
werewolves.
Dawnguard highlighted, though, when I played it, the one thing that I'll bring up is one of my least favorite things about Elder Scrolls games, which I love the world of, is that because of the way they scale those games, the coolest looking weapons that you find are never useful. So there's no like you'll get a sweet sword at the end of Dawnbreaker, but it's so underleveled to something you could just barely craft.
Is that,
It's
like,
Can't you
Harken-
upgrade it though?
you can, but it's even at like the most you can upgrade it. It's like not better than anything you could just craft. In other words, like in Zelda, like the Master Sword is the big deal, and you find it and it's like a kick-ass sword.
You need to play Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different there.
Because
Spoilers.
you do, like, in the end, you do get, it's called Harken's Sword, and it looks really cool, and it's got some good stats on it, but it's really weak.
Right, exactly. It's weak. That's the thing.
I just love it how a game from 2011, 3 of us are playing because they released 3 different versions of it in 1 year.
Okay, so I have some backstory
get
for
it.
this. Dawnguard, never played Dawnguard, but
Dawnguard.
then I went to go play, I played the Dragonborn DLC, and when I went to go to play it, one of the NPCs actually got killed by a dragon, and I could not progress past that
We've
point.
heard this tale, this
I love
bard's
it.
tale before.
Yes. Yes. So now I'm finally playing it, and it is fun. And there are the idea of being able to go into that book and go into the world where all the little like Cthulhu things are. Like that's pretty cool. I haven't gotten to the end of it, so I can't really say like how it ends. I do like that they kind of go into detail about what happened to the dwarves and the snow elves and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Never be as good as the Oblivion expansion with the madness. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Shivering Isles.
yeah.
Oh, that is
That's
so
the-
flipping good.
That's
Yeah.
the best Elder Scrolls
That was a
expansion.
It's one of the best
expansion.
DLCs I've ever played.
Knights of the Nine is nothing to shrug at either. That's a great one.
They were long. Both of those expansions were really long.
Yeah.
I think they're better than the main game. I don't want to go off into Oblivion, but just the Oblivion gates.
Literally.
My big complaint is by the time I was done with the main campaign in Skyrim, I was tired of dragons. So you still play the expansions, and there's just dragons everywhere when you're
Would you
trying to
say
do
it started
things.
to drag on?
Drag on, yes.
Speaking of which, no, I'm sorry.
But other than that, that's what I've been playing. I'm planning on breaking open Xenoblade and see if it's as bad as Brian says it is, or Brank.
Everyone, most people that knew that like thought they might enjoy it seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on fan service?
More of it, the better. Wait, didn't you also get Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, I did. I haven't played it yet though.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. All right.
I guess we're done.
We'll see,
Let's
we'll
wrap
see
it
you guys
up.
next week. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Donnie, you want to give us your Donnie games?
No.
Okay. Let's move it on.
I have been playing. Let's see, a ton of Elder Scrolls Online still. I just
Do the
can't,
guys all still play with you?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. That's mainly why I've been playing a ton because we've just been doing dungeons every night.
Yeah.
Did you get through like how are you guys doing the dungeons? Are you just choosing a zone and going to all the dungeons there and then moving on, or what?
No, we're doing dailies.
Oh, okay.
There's a guild called the Undaunted, and so part of like end game gear in Elder Scrolls Online is like you want to have full complete armor sets because you have bonuses for each thing. So like I wear a set of gear called the Defiler set, which summons a hunger when I do critical damage, or it has a percentage of doing it, but does it really frequently. So it's important I wear 5 sets. However, you have
5 pieces of the set?
5 pieces of the set. However, you have 3 slots for jewelry, feet, legs, hands, chest, head, weapon, offhand weapon, or shield, or whatever, unless you're doing two-handed. But
Are weapons included in the armor sets?
They are, yeah.
Oh, wow. So you could have... Are there like various tiers of bonuses? Like if you have 3 pieces, you get a minor bonus.
Yep.
And then...
One, starting at 2, yeah. And a lot of them are specific to builds. Like medium armor set builds are good for stamina. Light armor is good for magicka. Tanky build, like heavy armor is good for tanky builds.
As in, like the same armor sets have varying degrees of armor durability. So it's like
no,
this is
it's more like if you're using a medium armor set, there's a good chance that the previous like the end tier is one thing, but the tiers leading up to it will generally be stamina oriented or critical.
But
oriented.
you can get Defiler set in light, medium, and heavy.
Defiler set. There's certain sets that you can. The Defiler set is the medium armor set found anywhere in Vardenfell of Morrowind.
Okay.
So they have regional sets, and they have a light, heavy, and medium regional set for pretty much every region. And
So-
then they have a light, medium, heavy set for every dungeon too.
Okay, I was gonna ask. Okay, interesting.
So there's tons of different sets to have. And something that's nice is that any like unique set or armor piece that you find, you can transfer to an alt. So you don't have to.
So it's all BOE.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. So you
that's
can. So if you like are playing one character and you're like you find most of a really great heavy armor set, but you don't play a tank, you're like, oh, but I have a tank. I can just put it in my bank and use it.
Nice.
But yeah, so.
And you don't compete for gear, right?
Exactly.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's great. But there are a couple. There's these things called the monster sets, which are actually 2-piece sets. So you get the max bonus at 2 pieces. It's a head and a chest, or no, head and a shoulders. And you get them by unlocking these chests that you get for being undaunted, and undaunted dailies are essentially doing dungeons. You have to do like a little quest to join the guild, and then it's like they give you 3 dailies every day. There's one person that gives you dungeon dailies that are all the DLC dungeons. One person, and then the other 2 people, I forget how they're divided up, but they're just divided up. So we've been running a lot of dungeons. It's interesting because for a lot of the and when they released the 1 Tamriel update, it changed the game so that there's like this champion point system, which is like the post 50 leveling system.
Yeah. What are you right now?
250
Out of
690.
what's MJ?
590, I think, 570, and Nathan's like 311.
Oh, nice. Love that band.
Would you say though the dungeons are kind of like a game of catch?
Oh yeah, they're pretty much like a game.
Brank wrote that down and was like waiting for the moment.
Didn't
to
even
say
want to
that.
integrate it in a good way.
I am literally going to get you back.
So it's
What
like we'll
else-
be playing a game of
What
catch.
else besides old stupid scrolls dumb line?
I'll tell you when I'm done talking about it.
Done.
But yeah, so there's a lot of mechanics in some of the dungeons that make it really hard to do with less than 4 people.
You can do a dungeon with less than 4 people?
Yeah. So we've been 3-manning a lot of dungeons, but there are ones. So every dungeon has a normal mode and a veteran mode, which is basically hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
But also a lot of the dungeons we can do 3-man on normal, and some of the dungeons we can do 3-man on veteran. But a lot of the dungeons, especially the DLC ones, which are generally speaking more challenging, we can't even do on normal. Like we've done twice now where we've done a dungeon where we got to the end and then the last boss just creamed us.
Because the puzzle or the boss fight
Because the
requires
mechanics,
like positioning and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a ton of fun. I can't see myself stopping.
That's called an addiction.
Yeah,
Donna.
I'm playing through the Clockwork City DLC, which is fun because you get to deal. It's not. So it's the 3rd tribunal. So there's Vivek, Amalexia, and Sothasil. So Sothasil built a city that's the size of like a globe, basically, and it's inspired by Dwemer, but it's not Dwemer. So it's like it looks sort of different. Everything's kind of robotic, and it's like one of the coolest looking areas I've ever explored.
That's right.
Have you been playing with Jank though? Because he needs a friend, and he's been playing. I've seen him online. He's playing by himself.
This is Brian's dad talking.
This is the time to do this, okay? We brought you here for a reason, okay? This is an intervention.
Intervention.
I don't know. You guys listening can't see, but I don't know what to make of the look Brank just gave me.
Love to call it an imposition.
It was like kind of wistful, but
Wistful.
this is why we brought you here.
Yeah. Get you and Jank.
So, Jank, you're still playing it though?
Yeah, I'm still playing.
I stopped playing.
Did you after you spent that money on it?
I was a little, for one, it was $30.
That $20
it's
bill.
It's a time commitment. Like
It is a huge commitment.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I think I made a mistake picking that class. It was so boring.
Which class did you pick?
I was playing a Nightblade, but I was playing it as a Siphon, which is supposed to be the most akin to a Warlock in World of Warcraft.
It probably doesn't get good for a little bit.
It was so boring. I should have just re-rolled and then gone back to it when I got higher
hard
level.
too when you first start out because you don't get good armor.
I had
or
2
weapons
spells,
or anything
like nothing like gave me trouble in terms of combat, but I had 2 spells for the whole thing, and it was like I couldn't sneak because you can't sneak attack with spells, at least the ones that I had, and yeah, it was just like boring. I was like, I could literally do anything else and have more
You should
fun.
have played Pally Bubble.
Pally Bubble, a Bubble Hearth, yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing. I have an alt that's a Nightblade, but I play it as like a
rogue
as
or
an assassin.
Yeah, cool.
But anyway, so I've also been playing a lot of Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a couple years old at this point.
It's awesome.
It is really great. Actually, now that I'm farther along in the story, I've realized that it is essentially the same modern day story part of Assassin's Creed 2 before they screw it up in Assassin's Creed 3, because it's kind of got an Indiana Jones feel where you're investigating like historic myths, but it kind of goes into this like where it's like, oh, here's the truth behind all these religious myths, but then it kind of bounces back and forth between like, well, this was just kind of like exaggerated, but then this is not exaggerated. So it's like it never really settles on like there's no such thing as like the supernatural. Like it never does that. But it reminds me of what Assassin's Creed was setting up with all of the Templars and all that kind of stuff before they were just like, well, aliens.
Aliens.
What's the
Folk
tone of
combat
that game?
is also awesome.
Oh yeah, and actually one of my favorite things about Rise of the Tomb Raider, and the same with the one before it, regular Tomb Raider reboot, stealth bow hunting is probably one of them. It's as satisfying as it is in an Elder Scrolls game. It is just so freaking cool. Especially when you start getting skills where you can like use poison arrows and kill a bunch of people at once. Or now I have a skill where I can like stealth kill someone and then set a trap in his body so that when other guys come up to investigate, they just all die.
Assassin's Creed
that's awesome.
literally stole that combat and used it in Origins.
Okay.
That's why I enjoyed the book.
Yeah,
But anyways, you had a question though for him about it.
Oh, I said, what was the tone of the game? Is it like fun or
Rise of the Tomb Raider
serious?
is it's a little bit, well, it's not lighthearted. And the first reboot here, the regular Tomb Raider, is super brutal because it's before Lara Croft has really like come into her own. She's stranded on an island. There's a bunch of dudes out to kill her. Like, it's very like tough time to be a woman, not in a political way, but just in like it's like a brutal game. And it's pretty intense. And so this game is like, it's a couple years later, I think. So it's a little bit less intense, but it's still intense. Like, it's not dark. Like, I wouldn't say it's dark, but it's more of like it's like a Batman Begins to like Batman Forever.
Gotcha.
Kind of deal. It's like, it's like a really gritty Indiana Jones, basically.
Are there nipples?
No.
Okay.
I mean, probably
There's
man
cheat codes
nipples.
for that.
They made I think they made her she's definitely like an attractive video game character, I guess, but they've made her more, if you were like actually like an Indiana Jones type character who was climbing mountains and stuff like that, you'd probably have slightly more athletic build. I'm not saying they didn't go full that way, but they went a little more. Less big boobs.
More realistic.
Yeah.
It's U.S. Mirror's Edge,
Yeah.
not pre-Mirror's Edge change.
And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been playing. Oh yeah, still been playing Legend of Legacy. That has gone from a quirky game that I was just kind of trying to play because I owned it to a game that I actually think is pretty fantastic. Really misunderstood. It is. I read a review of it that basically highlighted the fact that it is essentially a Super Nintendo game, which is true. It's very plot thin. The whole game is about exploring. And whereas a lot of Japanese RPGs are games that you play for the story, and then you kind of suffer through the combat system. Not always, but in a lot of times it's like this. It's just there. This game is the opposite, where there's very little story to play through, but the combat mechanics are awesome. Every battle is strategic. Every battle is it takes a long time to get to a point where there's even trash mobs where you can just kind of like blow through it mindlessly. And the mechanics are so opaque that you can almost like, it's almost fun to come up with your own theories on how to get stronger and test them out, because there's no way of knowing exactly what's going on behind the scenes because they hide all of that from you. So you kind of have to figure out how to get stronger on your own. Really, I'm really, really enjoying it. Other than that,
Looked really cool when it came out.
yeah, it's a fantastic soundtrack, which I posted about today on our Instagram.
Do you have the frog character in your party?
I do not.
He looks so cool. I want to play as him.
Yeah, everyone.
They have a frog character that looks like he's from Chrono Trigger.
Apparently he's not an easy usability.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because basically you can mold every character to do whatever you want, but certain characters excel at different things.
Yeah.
So, and by excel, I mean they learn faster, because the whole point of this game is it's called awakening abilities. So like when you equip a sword, you have the basic attack slice, which costs a certain amount of MP, which is 0. It's called SP in this game. And when you attack, there's a random chance that you will awaken a new attack. And that's how you build attacks. The same with magic. And so certain characters like, they learn water magic really fast, but they suck at everything else, kind of thing. Like, so I haven't used Filmia as his name, and I probably never will, because it takes a long time to grind people up, and I'm just gonna stick with the party I have now, which is the party I got when I chose the character Mures, who's like the elementalist dude. But yeah, other than that, I've played like a scarce amount of Diablo 3, which I was gifted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you play? What did you pick?
Crusader.
Yeah.
Crusader's cool.
Crusader's so
Yeah,
fun.
I didn't care for it, or I shouldn't say that.
How many hours have you played?
Right, I was about to say I barely, like, I was kind of like, I don't want to get into this because this seems like a whole thing.
It's going to be a thing.
Got to
Yeah,
the town
exactly.
and just did a little bit of that.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
the
So-
Crusader doesn't get good till like level 20.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 is PC only, right?
No, it's on console.
It's Xbox
Oh, is
as
it?
well. I
Oh.
play it on Xbox. I used to
Yeah.
have it on PC, and now I'm playing on Xbox
It's
One.
been on. It was on the previous generation.
It's actually
Okay.
really great on the Xbox. I think
really
PC
fun.
first because it was designed for PC in mind. But
Yeah.
Right.
it is
that rollability though makes it like
which
feel-
rollability?
The ability, like just pushing anywhere on the right thumbstick, it lets your
Yeah.
character roll. That makes it feel
Yeah,
like it was
it's-
designed for console.
No, it does have a great feel.
Yeah.
So Crusader.
Yeah,
And
Crusader.
are you playing with Nathan?
No.
okay.
He has it too, but he's not going to play anytime soon. 'Cause
Friend of
we're,
the show.
We're playing Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
so, that's pretty much why I'm not really playing it. I just wanted to try it out because I got it.
yeah. It gets better.
Yeah,
man.
I will say though, I actually do not like the rollability.
What?
You won't use it.
It feels
Oh,
annoying.
I love it.
You
That's
won't use
like
it.
it lets you traverse the landscape so quick though.
As a
So-
Crusader, you will not need it.
Yeah, but
Oh,
as
my
like
goodness.
I mean, that I can see that if you're like trying to impatiently get from map to map, but just
that's what you're doing.
You're just
trying
describing
to
your
get to the
personalities. is
Bad
what-
guys.
Yeah.
Trying to hit the bad
like
guys.
as just like a controller mechanic feel, I didn't like it. But
I liked it. I don't use it. I use it on my Necro a little bit, but I think if I was playing a Demon Hunter, I might play it more.
If I'm
Yeah.
not in combat, I am spamming roll.
Oh my gosh, that sounds miserable. Anyways, anything else you're playing down?
that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Well, I can lay on y'all what I'm playing.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Let me. I was playing a little Diablo 3 as well, actually. Picked up my Crusader again.
You're level 2 or
I'm level 3. Just got level 3. Now I'm in Act 5, and I'm like in a really weird spot where the game is getting a little unforgiving. I'm on the highest difficulty that I can at the moment.
Is that Nightmare or Hell or whatever?
Well, there's so many levels.
Inferno? I can't remember.
I don't
what they're
remember.
I
all.
think it's 666 Satan's Hell Lair.
Yeah.
Brian's mom loves
my
this.
mom. That's the one my mom plays.
Yeah,
is,
okay.
I think I'm on like the 9th or 10th difficulty, whatever that is. I don't remember
wow.
what it is. I raise it every time that I can because I like challenges.
like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, you should try it. Anyways, though, I'm at this point of the game where maybe it's just like the skills that I have that I carried over from Act 4, but they're just like useless. And I'll spend like 30 seconds killing a trash mob, and I'm like, this does not feel right. And nothing will kill me, but it's just not as satisfying because the whole point of like the trash is just like blow through it and blow it up and have fun. Anyways, though, also
You're
my
still
Crusader.
Necro, or are you? Oh, you're the
I
Crusader.
actually so I played Necro first, and then I got to like Act 2 around there, and I was like, I want to play Crusader because that's the other new class. And once I got to where I was with my Necro, I'm like, oh, my Crusader's just way more fun. So I just like stuck with the Crusader and played it all the way through to Act 5.
I feel like unless you play with friends, magic characters are not ever very fun.
I don't know, because the Necro has so many different play styles. Because you can be like a summoner, you can be like a magic, more like a mage type character. It has really rad mechanics, and I also those are the characters I always gravitate to in games, just like the most Christian ones.
Wicked devil
Yeah.
worshiper.
I don't know why.
Satan mongers.
This is all I ever do. Anyways, though, I haven't been playing too much Diablo 3. The other Blizz game I've been giving a lot of L to is my Hearthstone, which I haven't played in a long time.
They're about to say, "Wow, that's
No.
surprising."
No,
I thought you were about to say catch.
Blizzard's Catch.
But then I remember that you're not Brank, and catch jokes are reserved for Brank.
Right, exactly.
Disclaimer.
I'm off limits.
Save me now.
You can do the stock jokes for me, I guess. Stockades.
Stalker.
Stocks? Ooh, yeah, soccer. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Hearthstone, which has been really, really fun because I think I might have we talked about it on the show yet?
We haven't talked about Kobold at all.
Oh,
It's been
man.
a long time since we talked about games.
If any of you guys out there, listeners, have played Hearthstone and gotten into it and then maybe fallen off the wagon and can't get back into the meta, etc., all that kind of stuff, this is like the perfect way to get back into the game because it requires almost no previous knowledge of the game. You don't play against players who have insanely meta decks, and you don't have to have dust or your own card collection because you basically build your deck as you go and explore the dungeon. So you start, you pick a class, and you fight a random boss, and you have to fight 8 bosses in a row to win a dungeon
Question.
run. Yeah.
Is this mode locked behind some type of like you have to have a certain
No.
type of ticket for it?
Nope. You
It's
just
awesome that
you
they
just
finally
show up.
decided
That's
to do
awesome.
this.
Yeah, it's super fun. So you go in there, and there's like just like any other dungeon in the game, like Naxxramas or whatever. There's like a main boss host who's like really silly, and he's a kobold in this game. Which, for those of you who don't know, kobold in Blizzard lore, they're like these weird little. I think they have like their roots in Germanic folklore, but they're like these little like candle holder guys that dwell in caves.
rat.
Yeah. Kobolds are pretty common in most mythology.
That's like a real thing.
Fantasy,
Yeah, real mythology.
Like Goldshire, I remember fighting tons of them in all
Yeah.
lines.
Anyways, though, so you pick a class and you fight 8 bosses, and the boss selection is actually random, which is super cool. I think there's like 75 different bosses that you can fight, and the bosses have unique decks and unique cards and abilities and things like that. So you can build a deck that happens to be really great for one type of boss but terrible against others, and I don't know, it's really cool. So I've been playing. I actually beat it with the Warlock, beat it with the Hunter, and beat it with the Shaman. And there's one other class that I beat it with. I don't remember which. But
Do you get a unique card back for each of those?
no, you
or-
just get a card back if you complete it with all classes.
Oh.
So it's a challenge. I got really close last night on the mage, but I just can't clinch it with the mage. I've been getting bad randoms. But the way that the game works though is so you pick your class, you beat the first boss, and you start the game with like 12 cards, something like that, pretty generic mage cards. And then after you beat that first boss, you get a treasure, and every class has different types of treasures. Like you start the game with 2 mana, or you start the game, you double your health, or some other crazier treasures. Anyways, though, you'll grab a treasure, and then you get 3 options of 3 different card packs to boost your deck. And so you can get like a mech synthesized deck, a secrets deck, or a legendary minions deck. And you can get like super crazy combos and like really fun stuff. I remember on my Warlock, I got the new Gul'dan hero replacement, and I had summoned and resummoned Mal'Ganis 2 different times in the game before, and he had died.
Now,
So
is there a regular Dan or just Gold Dan?
this is there's Silver Dan.
Dan. You guys know the Mal'Ganis card, right? Real quick.
The Mal'Ganis card is this amazing legendary
No.
minion that came out during the goblins and
I thought Mal'Ganis
mech?
is the standard.
no, that's not Kill Jaden. It's what's his name? It's
It's the red dude.
yeah,
who
that's
takes
not
over.
Mal'Ganis.
But then they also, I thought, had
Mal'Ganis
Mal'Ganis,
is
the
a
guy
minion.
who gives you guys his immunity or whatever. It gives
Yeah,
your
that's
hero-
Mal'Ganis. So you're
He's not-
there's no, that's not
Oh.
Mal'Ganis. So you're talking about the character who replaces you. It's like his name is like Kill Jaden or something like that. It's not Kill Jaden. It's Archimond or anyways some other yeah.
It's Kill Jaden Smith.
Kill Jaden Smith. Nice, thank you. No, but you're thinking of the very like first like vanilla legendary warlock card who kills your hero, replaces it. You
Yeah.
have 15 health, and you have the Inferno ability.
I thought Mal'Ganis was also in standard. Okay,
No,
anyways, I
Mal'Ganis
don't know.
Mal'Ganis came out like in like one of the first expansions. Anyways, though, he's like 14-9, something like ridiculous, or 7-9, I don't remember. 9-7 is what he is, and he gives all your demons on the board +2/+2 and makes your hero immune. So anyways, I had summoned 2 of him, and you can only have 1 legendary of each type in your deck at any time. But because the decks get so out of hand and the kobolds, I had 2 Mal'Gani, and they had both died earlier in that game. And then when you get Gul'dan, he resummons all friendly demons that died earlier that game. So I had 2 Mal'Ganises up, and like I don't know, it was just super fun. So I really recommend getting into it because it's like super challenging, really rewarding, and it's
And
great.
it's free.
And
which
it's
is
free.
Tight.
And you don't have to have meta knowledge, and you don't have to have like hundreds of dollars invested in the game. So it's super
how
rad.
many hundreds of dollars though do I have to have
$12,000. No,
12,100.
I don't even want to do that math. Yeah, so that's been super rad.
paid? You've been playing other junks too.
I have been playing other junk, playing Mario Odyssey, which I alluded to earlier. Me and my son beat it the other night. It was so much fun to beat it
You're
together.
playing Cappy, right? He's
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
who's played Mario.
yeah, exactly. We barely got through it, guys. Yeah, so I'm just chilling in the Mushroom Kingdom now, which is so much fun.
Were you able to avoid that as a spoiler beforehand?
What do you mean?
Like that the Mushroom Kingdom was there for you to
Playing
go
Luncheon
to?
Kingdom is pretty much what we're asking.
I heard about it. Someone told me that you go there. I didn't know when
What
or
a
how.
dick.
Yeah.
It's not me, I promise.
I don't know. It wasn't like a spoiler. It was just like I just knew that it happened. Anyways, though,
That was a really cool part of the game, though.
I
just
love
to
it.
go-
Like
yeah.
and just like all the music. The ba, 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 ba. I just
Did
love
you
it.
get the
And then-
pixelated Super Mario 64?
I
You gotta-
haven't yet.
you gotta get to-
I heard the guy tell me about it though.
Yeah, you got to get to Darker Side of the Moon and beat that. The ending to that is like really wraps up the game, even if you don't get all the moons.
That's such a hard ending, though. That will take a very long time to finish. It took me about 2 hours, and I play a lot of video games.
As in, it's
Yeah,
just a
but-
challenging platform.
It
So
is
what it
extremely
is it's
challenging.
like a 10 it's probably 10 to 15 minutes of a platform sequence.
Maybe not. Maybe it is literally under 10 minutes.
Yeah,
too.
it's probably under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
But
not 2D, right? It's like traditional.
It's like the whole it's regular like Mario Odyssey. It's a
Okay.
3D experience. But it's a platforming sequence with no save spots. So you have to beat the entire thing in one run.
Yeah.
But you learn it as you go, and then it's not really that bad. Like once you get to the end, it's pretty straightforward. But the ending of it, when you like do the tower and stuff, like
It's cool.
it's just so cool. The music and like the whole.
I can't wait.
Did you
Yeah.
finish it, Josh?
I didn't finish the moon,
Darker Side?
darker side, but no,
my
I
goodness.
loved the Mushroom Kingdom.
You
was
didn't
really
trade
cool.
that game in too, did you?
No, I have it at
Okay,
home,
you
so.
should go back and beat it. It's
I-
amazing.
I've really enjoyed that game. One, because it's just so playable, and like you just hop on, like barely anything gives me trouble in that. I actually just recently ran into something that was difficult, which was the platforming or the 2D platforming sequence in Mushroom Kingdom, where you go, where like the world is like part 3D and part 2D.
Oh yeah.
Is the world moving?
Yeah, it's like where there will be like pieces of the world that are 2D that you have to stay within while the platforms are moving
Okay,
around.
that's really hard. That
Yeah.
took me so long.
Yeah, that was
to
a
finish
tough one
that.
to beat.
Yeah.
If you can beat that, you'll be able to do Darker Side.
Okay.
Because that took me at least 15 tries.
Yeah,
to do that.
I think about that for me as well. Probably
Yeah.
14 actually.
Probably. It was actually looking back. It took me 13 tries.
I did it on my first try, but whatever.
Did you really?
Screw you.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I love the racing, the Koopa racing.
Oh, those are fun.
When you figure
he's
out
in Mushroom Kingdom, right?
he's in every kingdom.
and there's 2 of them. Once you
Oh.
beat the
Two
game,
of them.
there's a second.
But it's
cool.
after you beat the game and you
Oh,
unlock
sweet.
the moons.
Just like in the old Mario 64, where you'd race him to the top or something.
But it's
Oh,
fun to
sweet.
find like you have to like figure out your route.
Metro Kingdom is the trickiest one.
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
I had to
cool.
like, or maybe it's the one with all the trees and there's you fight the
Oh,
plant
the
monster.
glass.
Yeah,
the-
I didn't actually think
and
Metro Kingdom
Forest
was
Kingdom,
that,
I think
or
it's called.
Metro Kingdom wasn't hard because the route was easy.
Yeah.
But Metro
The
Kingdom
jump
was
was
hard because you have to do those you have to get on those umbrellas like at the right time and.
You have to do that really hard jump though to be able to do it perfectly
Yeah.
right. And I think it's called Forest Kingdom. That was the one that took me the longest. 'Cause-
Wooded Kingdom.
Wooded.
Which
Is
one's?
that the one with the robots?
That's one with the dark forest like below.
Yeah, that's
There's
the one with the
no-
robots.
Okay.
Yeah, where you like fight the harvester flying saucer
Did you
thing.
did you find the dark forest underneath the level?
Yeah, where the T-Rex
Where you
is.
like yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't even
That part
find it
was
until I
dope.
heard about it.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
know it was
cool.
there. I was like, what?
I think I found it on accident. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, that was super fun.
You fall off the side of the
Yeah,
map.
no, I remember that.
But yeah, that game has just been so great. It's so amazing. I remember when I first turned it on with Eli. It's the first game he's really been excited
Did you get the
about.
pirate costume for him?
Oh yeah, actually it was so cool the way that it worked out because I got it on Christmas Eve, and Eli was already like super excited about Christmas and stuff like that. And so the next morning when we were like killing time while the girls were getting ready,
Eli's 20, by the way.
Eli's
He's a 22-year-old boy.
Really excited about Christmas with his pop.
I had him when I was 8.
Yeah.
Really
We're all
advanced.
16 on here, so it's a really strange dynamic. Don't worry about it.
So anyways, though, like we turned it on and he's like, "Why is Mario a pirate, Daddy?" And then I was like, "Oh, Santa must have just hopped on, had a cookie, and play a little Mario." It's like, wow. So that was really cool.
Oh, that game is so great.
That's great.
But yeah, it's been a really fun game. I'm looking forward to getting to the moon, dark side of the moon and stuff. I don't know if I'll do the full 880 or 999 moons, but I definitely want to get to those secret worlds.
Yeah, you should plan on at least beating the secret worlds, whether or not, because you just need the 500 to get to them.
Okay.
Did you get I feel like we have one last game that you played, though, a little bit of.
I played actually 3 more games. I played a little bit of.
Wow, 3
Hey,
more.
Rank, what games has Dave been playing?
I don't know. I just know about this other one he mentioned a little bit, so I just want to hear
I-
his opinion more.
I don't know, Zelda. Is that what you're alluding to? So I did play a little Zelda, and that was I played it for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I just did a couple shrines and like
You're still on the mountain? before you
yeah,
get the
still on the
glider?
mountain. I found the old man's little hut. I'm working on his recipe right now for that cured meat thing. It was so funny because I was like, okay, so I just gotta like go hunt this boar. So I go and hunt the boar, and I'm like, oh my, all right, got this boar, got him, and I shot him over the cliff. And I was like, oh, great, that was my last arrow. So now I'm like looking for arrows so I can go hunt this boar so I can get meat. And I just haven't played. And the reason why I stopped playing, though, was because I was like, okay, I could get really into this game, and I don't want to take away from Mario. Because I know all you guys liked Zelda better than Mario. So, and I know that's kind of a unfair comparison, but I don't want to like get pulled into it and not play Mario. But anyways, though, I did play about 2 hours of it, did the first 2 shrines. I love the rune mechanic. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Is there, like, when you get into the advanced dungeons, do you have access to all your runes? And it's just kind of like a bag of tricks you have?
Yeah, there's never a point in that game where so those the things that you get at the beginning, use those through the whole game. It's not
Oh,
like
cool.
a conventional Zelda where it's like, oh, you go here and then you get the this. You will get stuff for doing dungeons, but it's not stuff that you can't finish something without getting.
Okay.
It's really clever. Like
Yeah.
it was a way where I was like, well, this is dumb. Now I do the dungeon, I get nothing. And
Yeah.
then I got something and I'm like, this is sweet. And so I did all dungeons.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. Like I talked about earlier, I wasn't adverse to it, but I was just a little like apprehensive towards the technology part of it. But if you guys say it's cool, then I'll give it some more time. But I don't have much else to say about it. I didn't play much. But then I also picked up Steamworld.
Steamworld Dig 2.
Yeah.
Hooray!
So that's been fun. Again, though, like just like with Zelda, I don't want to like get too into it and not get sucked or not play Mario. But the last game I do want to talk about is Dragon's Lair.
What?
Yeah.
Like the old arcade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I had Xbox Live or Gold or whatever for like a month or two, and I saw that it was one of the free games in November. So I downloaded that because I had just finished watching Stranger Things season 2. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll give it a shot. Have you guys all played it or at least tried it?
I don't think it's the free game in November, man.
It was.
Really?
Yeah, I downloaded it for free.
Maybe it's just free.
I don't know.
It's Xbox 360.
Okay, I don't remember it, but okay.
All right, well, tell us about it.
So none of you guys have played it.
No. I
So,
know what it is, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too, Z's.
So it would be the perfect game to play like together with a group of guys because I could just see it like being like a pass the controller type hot seat sort of thing, like where you each play like a little portion of the dungeon. But the game, the animation is amazing and the sound effects are hilarious. The mechanics are pretty strict where so you'll like your character will be walking. You're this knight and you're trying to rescue the princess from
Dirk something, right?
Yeah, I haven't even learned his name yet, but I think it is Dirk.
It is. Yeah, it's Dirk. I don't remember that girl.
Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler, yeah.
And you're known for something very big.
Large sword. Anyways, though, so you're in this dungeon, and the game is like super unforgiving. So like the first few seconds of the game, you are on this drawbridge and you fall through it because of like the wood is rotted away, and there's these like tentacle monsters in the moat that try to kill you. And if you don't push A for the sword button right when it appears, you'll die. And like the game is like so ruthless, you'll die constantly. But anyways, that's the way the game is played. Is like the game will flash a little icon, and you're supposed to respond. Yeah, you're supposed to either like hit A for your sword, or left, or right, or forward, or down. And it's a really fun game. I think my only complaint about the game is they'll recycle a lot of animation, and they will invert animation. So you'll do one wing of a dungeon, and it'll be like it'll make it clear that you're going toward the left of the dungeon, and then you'll finish that sequence, and then you'll go to another sequence, and it will be the same exact animations just flipped over, and it's like you're going to the right side of the castle. So it's whatever. It's like an older game, but it is a great relic, and it's super fun, and I think it can be really awesome in like that sort of context for playing with a group of friends. But that's all I've been playing. And I think we're going to take a quick little break because that was a long time.
If you're tired of sifting through flea markets for rare and unique games, we can help. Retro City Games in Henderson, Nevada, only 5 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, has all your favorite gaming staples, classics, and a wide selection of rare games with new stuff always appearing on our shelves. Come in and chat with Nicole or Doug about your love of games and watch as they help you complete your collection or find your childhood favorite. And don't forget, Retro City Games loves trade-ins. So if you have any Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC games, come in and visit Retro City Games today. Welcome to the new metropolis of gaming, Retro City Games.
Yo, we're back. And we want to talk about some Amadeus. Wait, no. What's that guy's name you do predictions for? It's not Amadeus. It's
Dr. Sayus.
Oh,
Dr.
Dr. Sayus.
No,
I thought it was Young
Dr.
King
Sayus.
Day.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. There we go. Nostafaru. And
The Animaniacs guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to just talk a little bit about what we think is going to come out the next 12 months or so.
Not even what's going to come out, just predictions for the industry.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just that. There are a lot of games, I think, though, that we can. I'm curious. Hey, do you guys think they're going to even come out this year? You know?
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. You guys can kick it off for me. I don't really have anything to predict.
What do you guys think about Kingdom Hearts 3? It was supposed to be. They announced at D23, the Disney Expo, that it would be released this year.
I feel like they have to because I'm sure they're getting pressured by Disney to put that out.
Yeah, especially now that we've seen what Disney's endgame with Star Wars is, they're probably like waiting for another thing to mass market like Kingdom Hearts. It's probably coming out this year.
I hope so. It's been too long. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't I guess like a month before I'll probably get excited, but
Yeah.
it's been so. It's
I
been
wonder-
what? When was Kingdom Hearts 2? 2005?
No, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, 2005. No, 6.
No,
6.
it was 2000.
No, because it was when we graduated high school. It
Really?
came out in that
Okay.
like February or whatever.
So it has been 12 years since the last numbered entry.
Yeah. Which is crazy because think of how many men our age have refused to grow up in waiting for Kingdom Hearts to keep all of their anime angst inside of them.
And how many belts people wear now.
Yeah.
I mean, they started seeing all the belts.
I'm more of a goggles on the head guy. Is that Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
or-
That's totally Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Phew.
What do you guys think about another one? And sorry, I'm just popping all the questions because I got a lot.
The question.
You guys think Halo 6 is going to come out this year?
I haven't heard anything about it.
I don't think this year. I'm sure we'll see something at
No,
E3.
I think it will because
think it's gotta.
Microsoft, as great as they've been with like making changes to their like UI and their overall like thing that are very pro gamers, they just don't have any first party stuff. I bet
Not a
they'll
lot
be.
of games.
They do
exclusives,
need
period.
it. I mean, because we didn't see there wasn't anything Halo except Halo Wars 2 DLC
forgot
last
about
year
Wars
at E3.
2.
But I
Free,
think
right?
I think Microsoft has fortunately seen. I mean, it's kind of an anomaly the way Sony has like where they announce something and people like worship them for it, and it comes out 5 years later.
Yeah.
But I think they've tried to avoid that a lot, where they're kind of announcing things and then releasing them. So hopefully, the fact that we haven't heard anything about Halo doesn't really mean anything other than like I bet they'll announce it and then it'll be like it comes out next week or in fall or something. I don't know.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. What do you guys think? And this will be the last one I ask till somebody else asks something. But what do you think about? We were talking about Tomb Raider earlier. Do you think there's gonna be a new one this year? The last one was 2 years ago. Previous before that, I want to say was 3 years
I think
before
it was
that.
2 years before that.
Are we talking a game release?
Yeah,
or
I'm thinking.
a game
Well, last time they
announcement?
did Tomb Raider, it was release year of. Like I feel like they announced it. I feel like they announced it at E3 and then released it. But I could be wrong. I mean, it could have been.
I mean, I
full year.
would really hope for that.
Yeah.
It's not something that was like I was actually thinking about that today because I'm like, yeah, it's been a couple years, and it seems like, I mean, even now, Tomb Raider is a freaking great looking game. Like they could just tweak their engine. They don't have to make a new engine or anything like that. They've got like a solid background there. So I would hope so.
Me too.
I mean, there's a movie coming out this year, right?
yeah, March.
Yeah,
It's
So
really
it would
soon.
be a good day. It would be.
Who's the actress?
Alicia Vikander. Do you guys watch Ex Machina?
Yeah.
I know who you're
Is
talking
she-
about.
Is she the
good.
same
Such a good
person that they modeled the character after in these new games?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's her though.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that's a
She
no
look.
name.
They look. She
That
looks
looks
the same.
kind of like her, but I believe that's a different.
She
person.
is married to Michael Fassbender.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Poor
Well,
thing.
Either way, it would be
Fassbender's
with
awesome.
with a movie coming out. That would be a great marketing ploy. So I would say this is a great time to. This would be a great year for a new Tomb Raider.
What else do you guys think might come out this year?
Are you guys seeing anything Borderlands related hitting the old market this year?
Sure.
Who knows?
My cat is totally trolling us right now.
If you're watching us on video right now, you are literally seeing something awesome. She hates Borderlands just as much as all of us do. So
Well, I would have thought that a Borderlands, a new one would be out by now, but the thing that Pitchford said about the graphics and all that kind of stuff makes me think that they probably are trying to like reboot it within themselves, and that it'll probably never come out,
That's sad.
or
Makes
it'll
me
just
sad.
be lame when it comes out.
do you really think though, Josh? You didn't even play Destiny, right? And that's kind of
No,
the
no.
evolution of that style of shooter.
I don't like that though. Like I want Borderlands to come out and be just the way it is.
Okay, so you think they're still just going to do like a single to 4-player co-op?
That would be
Run
that's
around
that's
thing.
fun to me. I mean, that's
Okay.
and I know plenty of people who like those kind of games. So it's not.
They don't want to play Shadow Warrior 2 or the other millions of games that are like that, or
Yeah, I mean,
Shadow Warrior 2 is like Borderlands.
yeah, it is literally a loot-based
What-
4-player.
what
shooter.
Borderlands
Looks
has-
really cool though, actually.
Borderlands has good writing going for it and a very.
Yeah, Borderlands is great, right?
Borderlands
Yeah.
2? Yeah, Borderlands 2 is really funny.
I'm gonna say good writing is a little bit of a stretch. It is funny at times, but I am unlike Donna. It's no Frankenstein. Unlike Donna, I do not like
Stairs.
Tiny Tina. I hate Tiny Tina.
Oh man, Tiny Tina was
I
great.
love the.
I know you love Tiny Tina.
What was the?
But Brank also liked Assassin's Creed Origins for the story.
Oh my
so-
goodness. I did not like Assassin's Creed Origin for the story, but the story was excellent. Okay. What else is there that's supposed to be coming out this year or that you guys think may or may not?
What are you guys thinking about some sort of Final Fantasy VII remake announcement? You think we're gonna see anything?
No, because I think supposedly it's the same team as Kingdom Hearts 3, so there's no way we're
Dear
getting that
God,
anytime soon.
Isn't that crazy?
Why
that
would they do that?
Why would they show it 2 years
No. Why
ago?
would they have those people be the same teams? That seems.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just love how it was 2 years ago that they showed the video.
That was 3, but yeah, 2.
Anyways, 2 years ago for an episodic game, and we haven't heard anything. Like, I mean, we pick on Sony a lot for this, but they need to stop showing games.
I mean, that
if
wasn't
they're not gonna
Sony, though.
release. That was at the Sony E3
It was
press
at the Sony
conference.
E3,
Yeah.
yes.
I know it's not their fault that Square Enix also shows games 10 years before they release.
Square's trying not to do that anymore.
Yeah, but they did it.
Their New Year's resolution.
It's Final Fantasy 15 will always be the game I remember looking at before I played Final Fantasy 12.
Right.
We were in high school when they first announced that game, Versus 13.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
2006 was when Final Fantasy 12 came out, and I want to say E3 2012 was when they announced 13 and Versus 13, now Final Fantasy 15.
Wow.
And Agito.
And Agito. Do you guys think we're going to see the new consoles this year?
No.
I hope
Next gen
not.
consoles? I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
I hope
Sony
not.
still
but-
has all those first party games coming out, so I would.
Which ones? The ones that are
The ones that they announced
never
like
coming
years
out?
ahead of time.
Talking
So,
about God of War,
yeah, God of
no
War.
release date?
And what was the big zombie one that everyone's obsessed with?
Days Gone,
Days
right?
Gone. Yeah, they still
No
got,
release date.
I think they still have to have those games come out before they make.
What
an
about Spider-Man?
announcement
When's the
about it.
release date, Josh?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo probably has a bunch of surprises this year.
I hope so.
I hope- there's
cool-
no
like a
way.
DK?
There's no way they're going to be dumb
could be.
enough to like have such a killer year and then follow up with like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Switch consoles have outsold Wii by this point.
Wii U, yeah,
Yeah.
a lifetime.
Not
Wii.
Wii, but no.
No, well, yearly
Weed?
sales, but yes, but not
Like for how long the Switch has been out?
But
Yes, yes.
they've
Yeah.
outsold Wii U lifetime sales in Japan.
Right, but I'm talking about the Wii. Like it's
Yeah.
outperforming the Wii.
and it's
so-
outperforming the PS2, which I think might have been the previous highest record holder.
Which
Maybe
is
it was
crazy.
the Wii.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I've heard there's a rumor that, I mean, you guys are listening to this probably on Wednesday or after that. There's a rumor that there might be a direct now, like from when they're listening. We're recording on Monday. There might be one on Wednesday.
A new Nintendo Direct. Yeah.
Wednesday
Oh,
or
Metroid
Thursday.
Prime could be announced.
Ooh.
Yeah, the release date for that would be killer.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They announced that there would be a real
Fire Emblem this
so-
year.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, there's people are hoping for like a Majora's Mask style Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
A game that's set in this with the same engine, the same same world. So basically, like a different time for like a different, not the same world literally.
Yeah.
But like basically the same engine, use a lot of the same assets and stuff like that.
I hope they do
I hope
that.
that'd be great.
It must be such a cool company to work for, where you can keep things that secret. Like,
Yeah.
I think that is like so rare.
Yeah.
Or so scary if you want to talk to people about it. 'Cause
I hope
Yeah.
they do that with Mario too. Not this. It won't happen this year, but that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11. I'm gonna.
I hope that comes
I
out.
really hope it's DK. I know all these games sound great, but I just really want
a new DK.
Yeah, that would be the biggest surprise because everything we've announced. I mean, except for the Zelda sequel and the Mario sequel, those are total conjecture. But DK would be something that makes a ton of sense. I haven't heard a single rumor for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think the team on Metroid Prime 4 is retro. So the team who's made the previous two DK games. So
Yeah.
Rare, isn't
what
it?
are they doing?
No.
not
Rare
DK
is owned by Microsoft.
Yeah,
That's-
Rare's been.
It was Rare.
Sea
a
of
long time
Thieves,
ago.
the Rare game, is coming
Okay.
out for Microsoft.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong Country reboots were handled by Retro, who made Metroid Prime.
Okay.
Which is also an awesome game.
Yeah. So a new Donkey Kong would be quite awesome. Again, Dragon Quest 11 is supposedly coming out this
Yeah.
year. So
And
For Switch though, it'll be a Switch.
Oh, well, we don't know about Switch.
we know that
okay.
there's something Dragon Quest that will come to Switch,
Yeah.
but
it's supposed to be Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
But
So-
they were talking about Switch Directs, aren't we?
it's
Yeah.
a Nintendo Direct, yeah.
Oh, Nintendo
so
Direct.
they might announce because the Dragon Quest 11 is an interesting game where there's literally two versions of it. There is and one of the versions is two versions. So there's three versions of it. There's a handheld 3DS version which you can toggle between like Super Nintendo style graphics
Oh, yeah.
and like 3D-ish graphics.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's the console game, the PS4 version, which is way more of like a cinematic animation kind of game.
Which might be the Switch one, is what
I hope it's
assuming.
powerful enough, but
I think you can do it.
either way, I might play all three. So
Yeah, it's
I can't get enough of Dragon Quest. So
Do you think we'll see a Pokemon come out this year?
Well, I mean, I don't know
on
about this
Switch?
year. They mentioned that it's coming, but it might be another year.
We call Pokemon Stop, and it's for how long you sit still. Pokemon just come to you and you catch them.
All right.
I think it's time to hear about Starfield officially from Bethesda.
Yeah.
So
Is that a new IP?
So Bethesda has said that they're working on 3 projects. One is like a freemium game that they're hoping to redefine freemium games with.
Okay.
2 of them are their normal type of large-scale projects, but even bigger. One of them's got to be Elder Scrolls 6, but I don't think we'll see it anytime soon.
You don't think it's going to be this year?
Fuck no. Yeah.
We're explicit again.
We're explicit. Sorry, guys.
Because they've said
2011 was the last Elder Scrolls
right, but
release,
they've said over and over again that the science fiction IP is coming out before Elder Scrolls.
I want to put this down on
announced
paper. Elder Scrolls 6. Brank says it's coming. We are going to see that E3. It is going to release.
You're
in
just
November.
thinking that because Jason Schreier said that, right?
I think it's going to happen still. A lot of people in the games journalism industry have predicted that they think it's coming out.
If that ends up happening, I predict that Starfield is canceled.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, but Bethesda's on fire right now, so I think they'll release anything. Like outside of Prey. Oh wait, actually, Wolfenstein 2 didn't sell well either, but critically, it did really well. So I can't really say that.
But there's no way that their team is big, but their games are bigger. So it's like they're probably focusing on one. I don't think we're gonna get Elder Scrolls 6 this year because they've said that Starfield's coming first. Which Starfield is not even. That's like a leaked title because of a Target ad. So, but that's the one they've said they're doing first.
My biggest complaint of this whole year, you guys know what this probably is because I talked about it a billion times. You think we're going to see the virtual console?
No.
No.
I don't know.
If
There's
we don't
no
see
reason
it
for them to do it.
by this time next year, if I don't have the ability to at least play, I don't know, Super Mario World, that's at least a safe bet on my Switch. I'm going to be very disappointed. It's become a great console, so I don't care as much as I did at the beginning, but it's still crazy to say like, hey, we don't want to sell you these games that you'd gladly buy, even though they're old.
Yeah, I really hope that they do it as well. I don't want to talk about it tonight, but
You mean you want to talk about it all night long?
I would like to play those games eventually, but I'd rather them focus the energies on awesome new titles.
Yeah. I would say the chances of Nintendo announcing a new only handheld is more likely than a virtual console.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that.
No, they won't. That would be stupid. But I'm saying that is more likely.
I feel like the virtual console is kind of something they can keep in their back pocket should things ever go south for the Switch.
That's true.
Here's the thing. And I encourage everyone listening to pirate this because Nintendo is so stubborn with their legacy catalog. Just apparently modding a Super Nintendo Classic is beyond easy to get every regular Nintendo and Super Nintendo game on an already HDMI ready console upgrade So that's probably what I would say to do and forget the virtual console.
I just want it to be portable, and I want to take it around with me and play it instead of ukulele.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games I'd rather play.
I mean, there's a lot of people like that. Like I am the opposite where I cared very little to play my Switch on the go. So
that's the best part of it.
It's nice. I like playing it on the couch sometimes, or playing it at work when I'm working.
Yeah, while you're working.
It's fun. It was like I played. I played Shovel Knight in handheld mode, and
out
that
of
was
necessity though, right?
Yeah, I mean out of necessity, but that's a game that was very enjoyable in handheld mode. But
yeah, some
honestly,
are.
I didn't enjoy Zelda probably as much as I would have because I just didn't enjoy it on handheld mode.
I played Zelda. The first 2 hours that I played Zelda were on handheld,
and that to me is a big part of why I didn't continue playing it is how it played on handheld. I personally just didn't enjoy it because it was too big for it to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
I played most games, most of the bigger games, 50-50.
Yeah,
50%
that's how I played
handheld,
Mario.
50%,
Yeah.
And that is something that's really cool about the Switch.
you buy one copy.
It's nice to have that option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to predict. My dogs, y'all.
Let's see. Yeah,
We can wrap it up because I know it's getting a little bit on the latency side. Real quick though, can we run down just a few of the games coming out in January? Please, please, please. There's just 3 games.
Okay, you can do 3 games.
Okay. These 3 games are just something I want to talk to you dudelys about, and I want to